van Leyden, and this is a review of the Typhoon neoprene Seamaster dive suit. The dive suit is a dry suit with a rear entry and is made of compressed neoprene or crushed neoprene, whichever you prefer, and it's a titanium lining as well to give that a little bit of extra thermal warmth. Little shout out to where I purchased this non-sponsored video. I paid this for myself. I purchased it through a company called Oyster Diving down in Brighton. Cannot praise them enough for the good service they gave me. So one of the criticisms I have of this is their Typhoon's ordering chart. May make sense to them. I couldn't make head and tail of it, if I'm honest. I found it quite difficult. However, I sent in my measurements online to Oyster Diving, and they contacted me straight away and said, look, there seems to be a disconnect between your boot size and your body size, which is a very difficult conversation to have, I would have thought, but they did it. I then gave them a complete set of measurements at their request, and they checked the measurements and found that I had ordered the wrong size. They sent them off to Typhoon. Typhoon were really good with them too. Typhoon liaised back and forth with them, and then they agreed to make a suit for me to try. I went down to Soho one evening after work, because it was near where I worked, and I was able to try the suit on, and it was nearly right. I confirmed to them that's the size I needed. They went back to Typhoon and said, yep, that's the size, go ahead and make it. Typhoon made it. They delivered it back to Oyster Diving. Oyster Diving then brought it back to Soho for me to try on the day I purchased it. Can't fault their service. Their customer care is awesome. They do lots of other services. I've never tried them, so this is not a review of them. Just on this occasion, they gave superb service. As you can see from the stills, the Soho diving swimming pool was worth going to see just for that. It's an amazing piece of architecture, 1930s pool that's been completely refurbished and in its original style. So it's worth a visit, just do that, to be honest with you. There's a link in below for Oyster Diving because I think they deserve a call out. And there's also a link to Typhoon. As I say, my one criticism is their sizing chart, which I think could be a little bit better. Purchase this, it comes in its own bag, which also folds out to be a stand-on mat, which is kind of a useful feature really. Once you open it up, it comes complete with its hose for inflation. It comes with a block of wax to ease the zip on the back, which is actually quite stiff, what you usually expect when you first buy it. I deliberately chose this sort of neck because I find these a lot more comfortable. They spread the pressure over your whole neck. I didn't find I needed to turn it in. You can, it's got this glide finish on, and you can turn that inside to get a tighter fit should you desire it. I didn't find the need for that. It worked perfectly well in that position, and I didn't get wet inside at all. It has a area here for tucking your hood into, and it acts as a little bit of a wetsuit really. Water gets trapped there and warmed against your chest. When you get out, it drains out there. Apex valves, fully rotatable, so you can left or right shoulder run your hose. Standard push button lift. On the left shoulder there's an auto dump valve, so for those who haven't used it, simply set it to closed position when you first get in. That means all the air in there stays in there, acts as a little bit of buoyancy for you, and then when it's ready to descend, open it up a little bit, a few notches, or fully open it, it's your choice, and then you can manually override. I found that quite stiff, but then it needs to be really. You don't want that to flood, otherwise you'll have a serious issue on your hand where you've got a flooded dry suit. On the shoulders, it's got these extra grippy bits for holding your BCD in place. Whole thing seamed properly. I found the whole thing quite well made, to be honest with you. It was, I was quite pleased with it. As you come down to the sleeves, again they got this glide finish, which makes it a really good fit around the wrist. Didn't leak, and it's easy to get on and off, or easier with that glide finish in. Again, properly sealed. Coming down to the legs, each knee joint has got this area here, which is a reinforced bit. I mean, you shouldn't be kneeling on the bottom, we know that, but I don't dive that often in a dry suit, so I found this quite useful because while I was sorting my buoyancy out, landing on rocks, gives a little bit of extra protection. Again, well made, well designed. Then we come to the boots. Love them. They haven't gone to the Wellington boot style, although it's connected to the suit, which is a standard thing. These have got high instep. It's reinforced on the bottom, so when you're walking across rocks, it's excellent. But it's very flexible around the ankle, which is quite good, quite liked. I found this suit super easy to get on and off. The neoprene goes inside this as well. This is their own design, and I found it excellent, warm, didn't get cold feet at all. And on the back, you've got the clip for your fins, so they don't pop off. I found that the suit was quite easy to get on and off, no particular difficulties. Obviously it's brand new, it's a bit stiff. This is the first time I wore it in Ango down at Lundy Island. Fitted well, obviously a single person put on, and I needed a hand with the zip, but it's a bit stiff. Once I pulled it up, it was all good. And then when I got in the water, it didn't leak and had excellent buoyancy, and I filled it up and it still didn't leak. All in all, I found the whole suit quite well made. I found it well laid out, well designed, and did exactly what I wanted it to do, really. But be conscious, this is a heavy outfit, so if you're going to be going overseas, think about it. 5.5 kilograms is not to be sniffed at. But if you're diving around the UK, really recommend it. It's super, super warm. Didn't leak, did what it said on the packet. Basically, all good. That brings us to the end of the review. It's a short review. I hope you found it useful. If you found it useful, you want to see other ones, subscribe. If you have a question I haven't covered, please put it in the comments. I will always get back to you. I hope this has been useful. Thanks for watching Wet Picks. My name is Marcus van Leyden. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. Bye now.